Hello, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. We are so glad you're here with us today.
We are.
Usually when we sit down for a health topic, I'm sort of mentally preparing myself to wade through some really dense stuff.
Oh, yeah. Clinical trials, p-values, medical journals that you need a dictionary to even get started.
Exactly. But today,
Why
we're
could-
doing something completely different. We're actually looking at a story.
It really is a story. It's a document that was apparently circulated during Happy Senior Citizens Week, of all things.
Right.
Now, that title might sound a little quaint, maybe a little soft, but you really shouldn't let that fool you. This is, I think, one of the most creative and visually engaging pieces of health education I've seen in a long time.
It definitely stuck with me. It takes a topic that usually just makes my eyes glaze over: your lipid profile, cholesterol.
All those numbers on your blood work.
Yeah, all those numbers. And it turns the entire thing into a crime drama.
A crime drama is the perfect way to put it. It completely reimagines the human body. So instead of, a biological machine full of chemicals,
Right.
this source asks you to imagine your body as a small town. And like any town, it has infrastructure, it has a government, and unfortunately, it has a pretty serious crime problem.
I love this analogy because medical data can be so abstract. You see a number on a page. LDL is 140, and for most of us, that means absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all.
But if you tell me there are criminals blocking the main highway, I get that immediately. That makes me want to do something.
Exactly. And that's really the mission for this deep dive. We're not just reading a pamphlet. We're going to explore this body as a city metaphor. We're going to figure out who the villains are, who the police force is, and what laws or, lifestyle changes we need to enact to keep the city center running.
And the stakes are high here. This isn't just about, looking good.
No, it's existential. As the source says, if the city falls into chaos, nobody wants to live there. The goal here is to give you the blueprint to be a good mayor of your own internal city.
So let's put on our mayoral sashes and get to work. We need to set the scene. So the source says our body is this town, but it's not some peaceful village. There are troublemakers on the loose. Who are we dealing with?
The source points to the biggest troublemaker right away. His name is cholesterol.
Okay, public enemy number one.
But the interesting thing is, he doesn't work alone. He's got a partner in crime called triglyceride.
So it's a duo, like a heist crew.
In a way, yeah. And the source is very specific about what they do. It says their job is roaming the streets, creating chaos. But their main goal is really key here. They want to block the roads.
Block the roads, which, in this analogy, are our arteries and veins. But why that specific crime? Why not, I don't know, vandalism or something?
Well, think about a real city. If you block the main roads, nothing gets through. Not supplies, not emergency services, not sanitation.
Right.
In the body, if cholesterol and triglycerides start piling up, they narrow those roads. They create traffic jams. And unlike a real traffic jam, these ones tend to harden and become permanent.
And where do all these roads lead? The source gives us the specific geography, right?
All roads lead to the city center. And in this metaphor, the city center is the heart. This is why what they're doing is so dangerous. They're not just being annoying, they're actively trying to cut off the capital city.
Which is a terrifying thought. But, okay, thankfully this town has law enforcement. This is my favorite part of the whole thing.
It's brilliant.
It's not just good and bad. It's a whole police procedural.
Right.
So introduce us to the force.
So patrolling our body town is a police force called HDL, high-density lipoprotein.
The good cop.
Precisely. The good cop. And HDL has a very specific job. The source says the good cop catches the troublemakers, cholesterol and triglyceride, and puts them in jail.
And the jail is our...
The liver.
Of course. The liver is the jail. That fits so well. I mean, we think of it as a filter, but jail is so much more active.
It's surprisingly accurate. Your liver is basically the processing plant for filtration. It decides what stays, what goes. The text explains that once HDL puts the criminals in the liver removes them through the drainage system.
So it's a very efficient process. HDL cleans the streets, the liver deports the criminals.
Right.
So in a perfect world, that's it. But, and here's the plot twist that I think makes this source so good. Not all the cops are good cops.
This is the fascinating insight. Usually you just see LDL on a test, and here it's bad cholesterol.
Yeah, it's vague.
It's so vague. But this story gives LDL a motive. The source calls LDL a bad cop who craves power.
A bad cop who craves power. That's surprisingly dark for a Happy Senior Citizens Week pamphlet.
It is, but it explains the mechanism so clearly. Because what does a corrupt cop do? He facilitates crime. The source says LDL literally takes the criminals out of prison, out of the liver, and puts them back on the streets.
That is maddening. So you have HDL working overtime to lock these guys up, and then LDL just opens the cell doors and says, go on, get back out there.
That is exactly the dynamic, and biologically, it's spot on. HDL carries cholesterol to the liver for removal. LDL carries it from the liver back out to the arteries. It's putting the criminals back into circulation.
So if you have high LDL, it's like having a police force that's actively working against you.
Correct. And this leads to the crisis. It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
If the good cop HDL goes down and the corrupt cop LDL increases, the city just falls into chaos. The roads to the city center get blocked.
Which the text calls heart block.
Right. The city center is under siege.
So the million-dollar question then, or I guess the million-step question,
Right.
is how do we fix this? If you're the mayor and you see this happening, what do you do?
The source is very emphatic. It asks, do you want to reduce these criminals and increase the number of good cops? And the answer isn't a complex surgery or some rare drug.
Okay.
It's one word, walking.
Walking, that's it.
Yeah.
It feels almost too simple.
I know. We
Correct.
expect some high-tech solution, don't we? But the source is adamant. It says walking is the best way to fix this ratio. It's the primary intervention.
I like how it breaks down the mechanism. It says with every step, HDL will increase.
And at the same time, the criminals' cholesterol and triglyceride and the corrupt LDL all decrease. It's a direct one-to-one correlation. You take a step, your police force gets stronger.
Is there a reason why walking specifically? Does the source explain the how?
It focuses more on the visual of the patrol. But if you look at the biology, muscle activity creates enzymes that help move LDL from the blood to the liver. So by literally moving your muscles, you are empowering the good cops. You're funding the police department with your steps.
It just paints this amazing picture of the city coming back to life. The source says, come on, move forward and keep moving. It's very motivational.
It is. It shifts the whole thing from medical treatment to like a civic duty to your own body. You aren't just exercising, you're patrolling the streets.
Okay, so we've got the patrol strategy, walk. But a city also needs supplies, right? It needs fuel. And the source gets very specific about diet.
Yes, and this is where we move from the metaphor to a really practical, concrete list, what to reduce and what to eat daily.
Let's do the reduce list first. Some of these are the usual suspects.
Right. Salt and sugar at the top. We know they're inflammatory. In our city analogy, sugar is like sticky sludge on the roads. It damages the pavement, the artery walls, and gives the criminals more places to hide.
And white refined flour's on there too.
Which acts a lot like sugar in the body. Spikes your insulin, which leads to more triglyceride production, more criminals on the street right after you eat.
But there's one item on this list that really stood out to me. It's a bit controversial in some circles.
Dairy products.
Yeah, it explicitly says reduce dairy products.
It does. And it also lists processed foods right after. The theme here seems to be minimizing things that cause congestion. It's likely targeting the saturated fats and full-fat dairy, which can give the corrupt cop LDL more ammunition.
That makes sense. Keep the streets clean. So if we're cutting that stuff out, what are we stocking the city pantries with? What's on the Eat Daily list?
It's a very planned-forward list. Number 1 is vegetables. Then we have pulses and beans.
Fiber powerhouses.
Exactly. And fiber is crucial for the jail system. Fiber is like the prison transport bus. It binds to cholesterol and drags it out of the body before it even gets into the bloodstream.
Nice. Then we have nuts and cold-pressed oils.
And cold press is a really important distinction there.
Why is that?
Well, when you heat oils during processing, you can create inflammatory compounds. Cold pressed means less processing, better nutrients. It's high-quality fuel for the city, not cheap, dirty gas that clogs the engine.
And last on the list is fruits.
Right. So the whole diet is high in fiber, high in antioxidants, and healthy fats. It's exactly the kind of fuel that supports the good cops and helps the liver do its job.
So we're walking to patrol the streets, we're eating beans to fuel the city, but the source doesn't stop there. It takes a sharp turn into the psychological.
This is the part of Deep Dive that I really, really enjoyed.
Me too. It's labeled Senior Citizens Week, and the advice for the mind is just as clear as the advice for the body. It's like the source is saying a city isn't just roads and buildings, it's the vibe.
That's a great way to put it. You can have clean streets, but if morale is low, if everyone is depressed, the city still fails. The text lists 3 things to try to forget.
I love this list. It's so philosophical. What's number 1?
Your age.
Just forget it.
Just forget it. The source suggests holding on to that number is limiting. If you think you're too old to walk, you won't walk. You won't send out the patrols.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. What's the second thing to forget?
Your past.
Interesting. And the third,
Your flaws.
wow, age, past, flaws. That's a powerful trio. It's like a mental detox.
It is. Think about the liver again. The liver clears out cholesterol. This advice is trying to clear out emotional toxicity,
But why does that matter for your heart? We're talking about lipids.
stress, regret. All of these things raise cortisol. Chronic stress is inflammatory. It damages the roads of the city. So just like cholesterol blocks the heart, dwelling on the past blocks your motivation to move forward.
You have to govern for today.
You have to govern for today, exactly.
Okay, so if we're emptying our minds of age and flaws, we have to fill it with something. The source gives us a list of things to adopt,
It does. First, your family and your friends. Social connection.
which we know is a huge risk factor for heart disease, right? Loneliness.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's as dangerous as smoking in some studies. Connecting with people literally protects the city center.
The source also mentions positive thinking, and then, interestingly, keep the house clean and welcoming.
That feels very connected to the whole body as a city idea. If your internal city is clean, your external one should be too.
It creates a sense of order. It's like the broken windows theory for your living room.
Exactly. If your house is a mess, you're probably not feeling motivated to cook a healthy meal or go for that walk.
There's also a list of 3 basic things to adopt. The first one is just charming.
Always smile.
It sounds so simple, but does it actually do anything?
It actually changes your physiology. Smiling signals safety to your nervous system. It tells the citizens, your cells, that everything is okay.
The second basic thing is regular physical activity at your own pace.
And I love the at your own pace. It's not about running a marathon. It's about consistency. Just making sure the patrol happens every day.
And the third.
Check and control your weight.
So, keeping an eye on the city's metrics, making sure your policies are actually working.
Before we wrap up, I want to touch on the final section. It's called 6 Essential Lifestyle Habits, but I noticed a really strong pattern here. They're all about being proactive.
Yes, the don't wait philosophy. The city shouldn't wait for a disaster to fix the roads.
Let's run through them. The first one is about water.
Don't wait until you are thirsty to drink water.
Why is that? I usually just drink when I'm thirsty.
By the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. Your blood gets thicker. Think about traffic in the city again. If the blood is thick and sludgy, jams happen faster.
Makes sense. The second one.
Don't wait until you are tired and need to rest. This is about preventing burnout.
That's a hard one. We tend to just go until we crash. Right. But if the city's power grid runs at 100% all the time, it eventually blows. You need scheduled maintenance.
What about the medical side?
Don't wait until you are sick to get medical tests. This goes right back to checking your lipid profile. You want to catch the corrupt cops before they cause a riot.
Not after the city is already burning.
Exactly.
The next few get a bit more spiritual.
They do. Don't wait for miracles. Have faith in God. And never lose faith in yourself.
That self-worth piece feels crucial. If you don't believe you can run the city, you won't even bother trying.
And the final one just sums up the whole outlook. Be positive. Always have hope for a better tomorrow.
So let's zoom out. We've got this incredible analogy. Your body is a town. You are the mayor. What does this all mean for us?
It means that health isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you manage. You have the power. You aren't helpless.
Right. You can physically walk to boost the good cop, HDL. You can change your diet to stop arming the villains.
And you can change your mindset to clear the mental fog. It's all connected. The walking helps the heart, the diet helps the liver, and the mindset helps you get out of bed to actually do the walking.
And just remember that warning. If the good cop goes down, the city falls. That balance of power is determined by your daily choices.
That's the empowering part.
Yeah.
You cast a vote every time you choose lunch or take the stairs. You're either voting for law and order or you're voting for chaos.
I think my biggest takeaway is just that image of LDL as a corrupt cop breaking criminals out of jail. That is going to stick with me.
It's such a potent image. It makes you realize bad cholesterol isn't just passive junk. It's an active disruption. It's sabotage.
And on the flip side, every step you take is a reinforcement for the good guys.
Yeah.
It gives so much meaning to just a simple walk around the block.
It really does. You're not just walking, you're patrolling. You're keeping the peace.
Well, as we close this out, let's remember the final sign-off from the source itself. It's a very warm wish.
Be healthy and wish you good health. Simple, but really sincere.
And for a final provocative thought, I keep going back to that advice to forget your age and forget your past. We talk so much about biological markers, but this source suggests that the weight of our past might be just as heavy on our hearts as the triglycerides are.
That is a profound point. If the body is a city, then our memories and regrets, they're the traffic. And sometimes for the traffic to flow freely to the city center, to the heart, you have to clear out the old wrecks. You have to let go of who you were to protect who you're becoming.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Keep your streets clear, keep your good cops happy, and keep moving forward. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
Take care, everyone.